Good evening, everyone. Tyler Segerman here with you. Welcome into the WTO 11 studio for another segment of our Coaches Roundtable High School Football Playoff Edition. 4 of the Northwest Ohio programs who earned first-round byes are sitting next to me right now, and over the next half hour, we will be offering their perspective on that reality and a whole lot more. As it pertains to the sport, excited to hear some insight as well as have some fun. So without further ado, let's introduce everyone we have here. Beginning on the far left of your screen, we got Findlay's Stephen Adams. Next to him is Bill Fisher from Genoa. Then on the other side of me, we've got North Baltimore's Greg Bishop and Justin Keller, who leads the football program at Whitmer. Appreciate all of you guys for joining me. Look forward to seeing what's in store today. So first things first, let's talk about obviously the reason you guys are here, and that's because you guys all earned first round byes. So Stephen, I'll start with you. How is the team preparing for this week off?
We knew it could be a possibility, so you start looking ahead a little bit, not too far, but we thought it was important for our guys to find a way to still continue to build on our skills, to hit the fundamentals, but at the same time recover. Everybody's banged up, so you want to be as healthy as you possibly can going into the game. So we try to prioritize that as much as possible this week.
Absolutely. And Bill, obviously a little unique to have an off week, obviously this late in the season, but I'm sure you guys are excited about it, or no?
Yeah, just to be in this position is something that's fun, and it's not known. We haven't experienced it very often, so to be able to kind of plan around it and to be able to just put yourself in a position to recover, but also just unplug a little bit, maybe unhinge, and just in preparation for the next week to follow.
Absolutely. And Greg, I know some coaches were obviously against it when it first came out, some were for it. Where do you kind of stand on obviously having this break and getting you guys ready for playoffs?
Kind of coming into it, I wasn't sure where I stood, but, kind of with our team and our situation, I'm definitely for it. It gives us a chance to kind of focus on ourselves and kind of, as other coaches allude to, get healthy. And, you've been at it for about 12 weeks now, including scrimmages, a physical game. It's very nice to have this, break so we can kind of rewind and kind of focus on ourselves and get better.
Yeah, and Justin, obviously, you guys get a break now, obviously coming off a big win last week against Perrysburg. How are you guys kind of approaching this bye week?
Yeah, no, it gives us an opportunity to focus on ourselves, and that's kind of been our thing all year. Well, now we have no one else to focus on this week, so we can focus on ourselves and clean up some things, and like the rest of the coaches said here, a chance to get healthy, and that's what we look forward to the most.
Awesome. Let's talk about the season for you guys as well. Obviously, your first year leading the program, a lot of excitement surrounding that, but obviously 8 wins your first year, obviously clinching a share of the NL Buckeye division. Just how impressed have you been? How would you describe the season as a whole so far?
Very pleased, obviously, and I'm extremely happy with our staff. Our staff has done a phenomenal job. I think if there's one thing I've done right, it's hired a tremendous staff.
Yeah.
But even getting some buy-in from the kids and having that turnover in the coaching staff, and we have a lot of new faces, but our seniors have done a tremendous job of adjusting to the new coaching styles and the new faces that joined us.
Yeah, and Greg, 30 years in the making this program, obviously 10-0 for the first time since 1995. A special ride for you so far. How would you describe just this experience for you coming back to North Baltimore?
It's been awesome. Just being around the community, how excited everyone's been, and it's just been really exciting. And the kids have balled in from day one, and when you do that and everyone's kind of rowing the boats in the same direction, you can do a lot of great things, and just excited for where we're at. And obviously Chapter 2 starts this next week, and so we're getting ready for that.
Absolutely. And Bill, more history for you guys. Obviously 2018 was the last time you guys won a conference title. You guys just celebrated that this past Friday. Just kind of what's been the most impressive things this season, from your group and your perspective?
Man, really proud the competitiveness within our team. We're fortunate enough to be junior and senior heavy, and they get after it. They challenge each other, and it's usually a constant battle, throughout practice. And you try to tone it down a little bit, but they like to get after it, and that kind of energy is really suits me perfectly. So it's a nice kind of give and take relationship. They're about them accepting challenges and answering the call. What's next? Well, let's get this drill done. All right, what's next? They just continuously want more, and that's just a fun environment to be around.
Absolutely. And Stephen, obviously, you guys' division. Justin knows Buckeyes no joke. Obviously, to earn a first round bye. How pleased have you been with the season you guys have put together so far?
Yeah, I think pleased in the way that I think our effort and the things that we've really set out to change from last year to this year, defensively what we've done. I think even just schematically, how proud I am. Like I said, it's coaches, it's people, right? And how well the coaches have done a good job of creating buy-in and fitting a scheme that really fits the talent that we have. We were right there. I mean, we talked about our league games. We're 3 games in our league, 7 points total. We're right there, just didn't finish, but nonetheless, I think we've put back and restored a good feeling of a good product that we're putting on the field, and something that people are very proud of at the moment.
Absolutely, and this kind of might be the answer to this next question I have for you guys, but obviously there's a lot of different things that go into the season. Some things you expect, some things you don't. Obviously, I know Miles Bailey obviously has been a lot of talk. He's listed as a running back and has been the quarterback for you guys. Has he been the kind of the biggest surprise for you?
Well, yeah, I think I think everybody here knows you win with seniors. And when we were kind of running through a lot of what we were trying to figure out, and after losing Riley in our first game, it's like, all right, we got to figure something out. We had 2 sophomores who came in and did a great job, but we just felt that in order to really move this thing forward, we needed a senior presence. We needed somebody for our seniors to look to. And Miles, really selfless to go from playing all-league linebacker to changing over and being selfless and running our offense. Speaks volumes about him, and he's really the reason why we are and why we had a chance to be in those games that we were in.
Absolutely. And Bill, anything that's kind of been unsuspecting but also pleasing at the same time with your group?
Not necessarily
unexpected, I guess.
Yeah.
When
you have the group of guys, the competitors that we do, and you have senior leadership and experience coming back. The expectations are high. The expectations are high from the players. This is kind of what the vision was, and this is what we thought we were capable of. Everyone always asks you in the beginning of the year, how are you going to be? How's the team looking, coach, and all this, and you just think to yourself, like, as long as we don't suffer some kind of catastrophic injury or injuries, like, we have a pretty good squad that we can put on the field, and we do, and it's been an incredible ride so far. So 9 in a row. That's fun football right there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's been fun to watch for sure. And Greg, I know we talked about this when I came out for practice before. You guys thought you had some potential, but obviously, the magnitude of what you guys are winning has been impressive. What stuck out, for you in terms of what you guys have been able to accomplish?
Just basically seeing the buy-in from the get-go. You have a new coaching staff come in, and how the kids going to react to that. So from the day one, they've reacted well and have just done everything we've asked them to do. They show up to the weight room all summer. They bought into what we were trying to do, and just the work ethic. If you just tell they want to be coached, they want to be coached hard, and they want to get better every single week. And when you do those things, great things happen. Obviously, we got to a 10-0 season, and we knew there's a chance we could do something special. Sometimes you don't always think it's going to be that special of a season like that. And but no, we're very happy with where we are, and very happy how the kids just balled in and just wanted to elevate the program from the day one.
Absolutely. And Justin, you talk culture. Obviously, there was a very good culture already in place when you arrived. Anything that's kind of surprised you or stood out, this season so far, through 10 weeks?
I think looking back on our team stats and just the one thing that sticks out that I guess I didn't expect going in was how good our run defense was. And throughout the year, I think in division play we gave up 1.7 yards per carry against the rush, and so that with all the key losses that we had graduated last year, I thought that was going to be an issue for us, and we've had a lot of guys step up, and our defensive staff has done a tremendous job getting those guys ready.
Absolutely, and I apologize to producers back in the control room. This question isn't a part of the rundown, but I'm going to ask it because obviously you guys are getting ready for your playoff games. Coaches obviously talk phase 1, phase 2, different phases. As you guys kind of prepare for this bye week and you get ready for your next opponent in round 2, what's kind of the key for you?
Well, I kind of already mentioned it, but I think when we've had our struggles this year, we've kind of lost focus. And what I mean is, again, going back to the focus needs to be on us and just us trying to get one day better and kind of grinding through that process and not worrying about who we're playing. Just, again, the focus needs to be on us and trying to get one day better. And, as we get into this week, like I mentioned earlier, it's just all about us. And then when we find out who we play, we still have to maintain that mentality going week to week.
Absolutely. And Greg, what's kind of that mentality for you guys in your program going ahead and looking into the postseason now?
It's just the same thing, focusing on us. And I think, when you have time off as a coach, sometimes it's very easy to want to over-install, over-install a scheme because, hey, on film this looks really good. And, just keep working, fine-tuning what we do well. And, work on our weak areas and just keep those at the forefront of our, vision and not try to overdo things just because we have time. Just really focus on ourselves and get better at what we do and, improve on our weaknesses.
Absolutely. Do you guys have anything else to add to share, or is it pretty much the same get-go for you guys?
Challenges, what can you challenge your kids to do even though you're not necessarily going to be on the field? Whether it's, hey, can you get, 5 or 10 more minutes on your huddle clock? Just little things like that, kind of keeps them hungry, for what the next phase is going to be. I mean, that's kind of been the mindset or the mentality was humble and hungry, over the course of really these last kind of 6 weeks, as we kind of put this thing together.
Yeah.
So knowing that, the ride can end at any moment, and we don't want to. So how can we continue to, stay hungry and challenge ourselves, even just in the littlest way possible?
Yeah, Stefan, he's alluded to that. Now you're not guaranteed the next week, so how does that kind of play in?
Yeah, well, one, I think doing a lot to make sure that we keep the emphasis on our seniors and how much we want to keep them going. I think it's very easy when you're sophomores to see this as something that, hey, how do I keep them focused? Because they might be thinking, I want to go to wrestling season, right? Basketball season. And, hey, if you want to be a great programs play later into the year. And somebody has to experience this and go through this. So we really wanted to keep the focus on us, like everybody else said as well, too, but also just make sure that, during this time, we're just getting better at the things that we have really identified ourselves to be. Who we are at this point in time of the year, we ain't changing much, right? So how can we kind of fine tune those things and keep the focus on doing everything that we can do to let our seniors see this as long as possible?
Absolutely. And this might be the toughest question I asked them today, because obviously next Friday or this Friday falls on Halloween. So are you going to be scouting? Are you going to the game of your future opponent potentially? Are you going to be join the family with trick-or-treating? What's kind of the game plan for Friday night?
Yeah. Well, we did trick or treat this past weekend.
Okay.
So little Dax was Superman, and Nora was Wonder Woman. So we will be doing something. I don't know what it'll be, but it'll be something family oriented, and we get the film for our opponent. So we'll be tuning in for sure to see what they're doing.
What about you, Bill?
Family oriented. Yeah. It doesn't happen very often throughout the fall.
Right.
So you get a little bit you get a little opportunity. I mean, that's where we're going with it.
There you go. Family, you guys as well, or?
Yep, same thing. 3 little ones, and focusing on them this week.
Okay, awesome. Same.
I guess I'm the oddball.
Oh, you're going to be going. Okay.
I'll be going. I got a 23 and a 21-year-old.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
That's what we're behind here.
So I'll be at the Perrysburg St. Ignatius.
Okay.
game.
There you go. Well, it should be an exciting matchup there. Obviously, one conversation, one topic that has kind of surrounded the state of Ohio as we kind of wrap this segment up has been NIL throughout high school. I just kind of want to get your guys' thoughts on kind of what you guys think about it, if you're in favor of it, kind of what that kind of how that might change some things. Justin, if you want to start, just kind of what your initial thoughts on it.
Yeah, I would say I'm not in favor of it. I don't have enough background and insight as far as the details and how it would work and how it would be implemented. So I really can't really speak to that.
Yeah.
I can tell you, though, I'm not a fan of it. I'll tell you that.
Are you in agreement, Greg?
I'm in agreement. Basically the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I just think it's, I don't know enough about it to make, a final, if it was my decision to make a final say on it. But, I want the high school game of football to keep being the high school game of football and being what it is. So, yeah.
All right. Are you guys in agreement, or do you guys still?
I just don't understand what it looks like. I mean, how does this even come into play, and what is it? I mean, is it commercials? Is it, I don't know. It's not enough information, absolutely. But no, I would be not for it.
Yep. Being from Pennsylvania, I know it's been a thing that has kind of worked itself in there a little bit, and I know there's some obviously some uneducated, uninformed people that will talk about it and discuss it. From everything I've heard, it does cause some issues. I don't know about it enough myself to say I'm jumping one way or the other. I try to sit back and try to make sure I have some kind of idea to make a decision upon it. But obviously, if I'm going off of what it's done to the college game, I'm gonna say no. So that's kind of where I stand with it.
It's just wild for you guys to think that your high school players could be making money off of deals. I mean, is that just a wild thing to fathom?
Yeah,
Yeah, and I'd have to assume by all of our answers, none of us would probably benefit from.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Well, let's obviously shift to something a little more lighthearted. So I call this segment Film Session. Basically, I picked a video. You guys just react to it and just have some fun with it. So, Stefan, I'll start with you. You might probably recognize this video. This is obviously from last year. Let's see if we can. Yep. That's obviously the Buffalo Wild Wings there in Findlay from obviously you guys watching Luke Montgomery play in the national title game. First things first, though, what did you order? What is your go-to Buffalo Wild Wings order?
For sure, it's going to be boneless.
Okay.
Depending on how I'm feeling, how much, and how bad it can get. Let's just start with, I think it's 10.
Okay.
And I usually go with the garlic parm or the Asian zing, is it?
Okay. See, I'm a garlic parm fan.
Yeah, see? So I do a half and half, and got to have the blue cheese for sure. And I'm pretty sure I have a water with lemon, just to be specific on that one.
Awesome.
But yeah, no, great opportunity just to sit there and watch one of our brothers. You know, the kids get a chance to watch somebody that they just were playing football with or look up to.
Yep.
Just proud. I think it's surreal when you start realizing that, like, they're playing in the national championship game, somebody that we know, somebody that we're connected to, and at that high of a level, just proud, really proud.
Awesome. And Bill, this is more of just an honor for one of your seniors, Luke Clement. Obviously, I was right there when he got hurt against Maumee. You know, just how difficult has it been, obviously not having him being on the field, but also how much of a benefit is it to have that senior leadership as you see on those sidelines from here on out?
Well, when you lose arguably your best player, I mean, that's never fun. And especially a young man who checks all the boxes, committed, leads by example, does all the right things on the field, off the field. He was a special talent, and you know it's unfortunate, you know, because it kind of got cut short last year, you know, when he was putting together a nice season, and you know they definitely had some Player of the Year potential in all kinds of different categories, and you know he's definitely missed. He's always around, so I mean he's still a part of the family for sure, and we're not gonna let him get away.
Yeah, I mean, how have you seen his leadership grow, knowing that he can't play anymore? Have you seen that role kind of change?
Just by being around. You know, he's walking, whether it's through crutches or he's got the scooter with him. He's at the linebacker individual stations. He's over with the running backs. He's not going to say a whole lot. I mean, he's not the the rah-rah vocal type, but man, just his presence alone, like man, that's Luke Clement. Like he's known within our area, and he's a solid player, man. It was a tough loss. Yeah. The guys have handled it well. He's handled it as best as really he could, but we've been able to keep this train rolling, and he's a big part of it. Just by leading by example and kind of showing the path for everyone else on how things are supposed to be done.
Absolutely. And Greg, obviously, I vidged one practice. I came down, obviously, when you guys were, I think, 6-0, and I couldn't help but notice one specific element that was consistent, and everyone was wearing cutoffs for your coaches. Is this a common theme? And just tell me kind of obviously kind of what goes into, obviously all the coaches wearing cutoffs, and is that a common occurrence at practice?
Actually, yeah, it is. We actually joke about it in the coaches' office. Like, man, people probably think we're really odd. We're all wearing cutoffs, and we're definitely out in North Baltimore, so it's but yeah, so I mean we do, and I overheat really easily, so I definitely don't like the sleeves, and but yeah, our coaches, it's kind of funny that you said that we were not wearing sleeves none of us were during that practice session.
So this isn't a predetermined thing; it just kind of happened, or you guys just?
I think maybe I started it. Okay. I don't know, and then all of a sudden everyone else kind of started doing it. I think myself or Coach Hoppel did, and then magically everyone else started wearing cutoffs at practice.
It's a good look. I like the look. And all right, and then
leadership is real. Leadership is real.
Yeah, so you got to show off the guns, right? You got to show off the guns. Awesome. All right, and then Justin, obviously for you, we actually have sound for yours. I don't know if you've seen this yet, but let's take a listen in here.
In fact, right here behind you. Come on, Justin. Come on, Jamal. What's up, my boy? You know this right here, man. But he right here. It's the GOAT. It's the GOAT. Anyways.
Sound from obviously your win over Perrysburg, Joey Morales and Jamon Holmes. What a running back room you have. How excited, how impressed are you? Jaden Jones, you gave a shout out as well. Just how impressed have you been with this running back core, having so much depth?
Well, in 23, I was coaching running back, so I got to coach Jaden and Joey when they were sophomores, and they were our two workhorses as sophomores, so I got to know them really well that year. And then you had Jamon to the mix, who's a special talent himself. But everyone knows how talented all three of them are. But what's really special about them is they're all rooting for each other. I mean, they're the first guy out to greet a guy when someone scores a touchdown. I mean, in that Kaufman game, week 1, we were running power and we were in 2-back, and I mean, Joey was lining up so he could lead block for Jamon multiple times. And, you know, when he was getting that key block to score a touchdown, he's more excited than Jamon, and vice versa. I mean, there's been times in the games too where they'll sub themselves out and be like, Jaden, it's your turn, get in there, or bring themselves out of the game to give the other guy an opportunity. So it's a really special group, a very unselfish group, and they're a pleasure to coach.
I'm glad you brought up Joey, because there was an incident, I think it was the Finley game actually. I was on the sidelines in between timeouts. A kid asked Joey if he could sign a $5 bill for him. I don't know if you've ever heard that before. I think it's maybe he wears jersey number 5, or he just loves Joey Morales that much. But what's Joey Morales? What's the fandom around him at Whitmer?
Yeah, well, he went to Greenwood Elementary, and his dad still coaches in the youth program. He's got a little brother, and so he's around a lot. So he's very visible, and obviously he's had quite a bit of success. So, you know, he's a good role model for those kids.
Yeah. Have you been asked to sign anything yet so far?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I have not. I'm okay
maybe here in the future, now that we've sparked the conversation. All right, well, our final segment, this is a fun one. It's a rapid-fire questionnaire, and they're all themed, so hopefully you guys are ready to have some fun here. First one, let's start with you, Justin, because you ratted out the first up. How many trick plays do you have in your bag?
Probably 4.
Have you ran any this season?
1.
Okay, did it work?
Sometimes.
All right, Greg, what about you?
Yeah, we actually have 3, and we ran one of them so far, but it was 4 halftime, and you know it was a hook and ladder, and they were already playing far off, so really didn't do too much.
Okay, well, it's good to have. And then Bill, what about you?
I'd have to know what the definition of trick play is.
Okay.
You know, quarterback sneak. I mean, that's you know, definitely something.
Misdirection. I mean, you guys obviously run some counters. I feel like in FB dives, but I mean, I don't know.
There's really only one that I'm aware of, and we have not run it.
Okay, saving it. I got you. And then Stefan, how about you?
Yeah, so I would say my major involvement came just recently with one, and it worked for a couple times for us this past couple weeks. So I'm hanging on to that one tight in my pocket.
I am curious too. So when you guys come up with trick plays, is it coach oriented? Do you guys look on Twitter to see if there's things that you can implement? I mean, how does that work?
I mean, if people are saying they're not stealing ideas, I think we're all liars, right? Yeah. Like I think we all, if you see something you like it, but you always try to find things that fall within line with your players and works with your guys. But there's always something that we might see, or you ran some time ago, or you come up with. But I think the creativity that we have comes a lot from our offensive coordinator, Matt Best, and does a great job with and Chris Ireland of just coming up with some things that work well for our kids.
Awesome. All right, next one. Again, these are themed, as you can tell. Which position group is the sweetest to lead?
The O-line.
Yeah? Why?
Because there's awesome human beings, and they actually block. No, it's a selfless group, and that it's a group that just every day goes out and just does their thing, and they're not looking for any extra attention or anything like that. And just the continuity that it takes to watch them come together and work into a group of 5, or a couple more, it's pretty special. So I always say the offensive line for sure.
All right, Bill, what about you?
I'm a linebackers coach, so I'm going to give a shout out to the linebacking core.
Love it.
Just the intensity behind it, the communication that has to start every play, getting in a stance, being able to make calls, and then just being able to run as fast as you can with bad intentions.
Yeah.
And that's if you have some defensive-minded guys, and they can feed off of my energy or coach's energy, that's what I think is the funnest position.
Absolutely. And Greg, am I safe to assume offense is going to be your pick?
Yeah, actually offensive line.
Yeah?
So,
Okay.
I used to coach offensive line for 10 years, and it's definitely a group. Like Coach Adams said, that's it's everything they do is for somebody else. And and when things don't go well, they're the first ones to get blamed for it. And when things do go well, it's a lot of credit's usually given to the skill guys. But it's a selfless group, and our guys have just worked their tails off all season. Set up. We passed over 2,600 yards, we rushed for over 2,500 yards, and that's all through them. And without them, none of that's possible. So definitely have some love for the offensive linemen.
Absolutely, Justin. What's your go-to group to coach?
I've had experience coaching just about every position on offense, but I think I probably had the most fun coaching tight ends.
Okay.
I enjoy coaching tight ends because it's a little. You have they got to block, and especially in our system, they got to be able to block and run routes. So as a tight ends coach, you have to have your hands in on both the the run scheme, pass scheme, and I really enjoyed coaching tight ends when I had that opportunity a couple years ago.
Awesome. Cool. All right, next up, which penalty flag scares you the most? Justin, we'll start with you.
Oh, geez. Which one scares? Where do I begin?
All of them?
Yeah, all of them. Probably a pass interference on a third down play.
Oh, yeah, those are brutal.
Yeah, those are brutal.
Okay, Greg?
Probably unsportsmanlike. Someone, seeing an unsportsmanlike, flag. Just something something's not going your way in that, potentially in that scenario. So, or somebody did something they shouldn't be doing. So definitely unsportsmanlike.
Okay. There you go, Bill.
I'd have to say any 50-yard rush for a touchdown or longer, and there's a flag by the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
That's definitely my
Tough
scare.
one to swallow, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would say obviously the unsportsmanlike, the dead balls.
Yeah.
But the killers are the holdings, because it only happens on a good run or a good play. So I'd definitely say those ones for sure.
All right.
The
Well,
sideline warning one can get you too, because it's sometimes you're so into the moment. Yeah, and some guys care a little more than others, so it can get a little tough.
I gotcha. All right. Well, let's go to your players now, or coaches. Who on your team, player or coach, is the toughest to frighten? Who doesn't scare easy?
Hudson Yeager.
Okay.
He's out of his mind. Him and Sebastian Brandkamp. I'd say those two. Both, Hudson's tight end, inside linebacker, Sebastian Brandkamp. They're guys that are in their own world 24/7 in like the best way possible. Just football guys.
Yeah, that's awesome. What about you, Bill? Anyone on the team that's tough to frighten? Or that you might be scared of? I don't know.
Evan Milner is tough to frighten.
Yeah.
Eric Messenger and probably the two Routson twins. They don't back down from anybody.
Yeah, no, that is for sure. What about you, Greg?
I'd say I have two guys, probably Eli Mockenstern, who's one of our offensive defensive linemen, and then Emmett Hellberg, who's one of our linebackers. I'm not going to say I'm scared of them, but I'm not going to give them that much credit. But no, they're great kids, and they'll match up with anybody and play with anybody.
Love to hear that. What about you, Justin?
I'd probably say Zach Aubrey,
Okay.
DN. He's probably undersized by D1 standards, but he'll take on anybody, and he just plays. He's relentless and fearless, and probably the other one, Brandon Dempsey, another D lineman for us who's shorter guy, but stout and just he's fearless as well. Like his motor doesn't stop.
I love it. I'm going to flip this real quick. How about this assistant coach that's easiest to scare?
What do you mean by scare?
Like that it could be, jump easy, or that, like if you could prank them, that they fall for it, something.
I'll say our offensive coordinator, Eric Brown.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But
he would be the guy you target.
I would think so, yeah.
Okay, Greg, what about you? Anybody on the staff?
I don't know. Probably say Zach Weinandy, just because he's the youngest one on our staff.
Okay.
But yeah, otherwise, I might have to try something and report back to y'all.
I got you. I don't want you guys to get in any trouble here. Just curiosity. What about you, Bill? Anybody on your staff that you'd try to prank, or maybe that could scare easily here during Halloween?
I'm not sure which one I'd go with. Probably Jason Collier. He's our offensive coordinator, O-line coach. This is his first year as the OC. Even though he's been around for a long time, and to know that fourth down's coming up and he knows we're going for it, and it doesn't matter where it's at. Is hey, what's your 4th and 15 play? I don't have one of them. It's little things like that.
That's funny.
He'd probably be the one I'd choose.
All right, Stefan.
Yeah, I'd say we got a staff full of pranksters, man. Those guys are all the time. But if I had to scare somebody, it'd probably be, I would say Coach V.
Okay.
He's an old vet. He doesn't know what's coming half the time, so we like to give him a hard time.
Easy target.
Good guy.
Awesome. All right. Well, the final one, as you can imagine, we're celebrating Halloween this Friday night. None of these guys obviously have to play. Obviously, most of them mentioned that they're going to be trick-or-treating with their families, other than Justin. Obviously, he's got his kids that are already graduated and everything. So what is your go-to Halloween costume, either of you that you've worn in the past or that you would go to if you could wear one today or on Friday?
Man, it's been a while. That's a good question. If I had to say, I'd say Jerome from Martin.
Okay.
It's a show I used to watch all the time, and it's always in character, I guess. So it would have to be that one.
All right, Jill, you have a go-to costume that you would try to?
Probably put on a pair of waders and like a kind of a fisherman's hat, just something easy. also have no problem cutting off some Daisy Dukes and showing some thigh a little bit, and kind of being a hillbilly to a degree. So
I love it.
Probably one of those two. It's super easy.
I might want to see that. I don't know. That's enticing there. Might have to come out to your neck of the woods Friday night. All right, what about you, Greg?
Actually, a costume my mom made me when I was a kid was a red Power Ranger costume. And I thought it was the coolest thing when I was a kid. So maybe I'd probably see if she
Bring
could
that
make me
back up?
another one back up.
Okay.
For me.
I love that.
No sleeves though.
No sleeves.
No sleeves. Yeah, gotta
No
be the cutoff, right? And then Justin, any go-to costume for you that you would to sport?
Probably Darth Vader.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a Star Wars nerd.
Yeah.
I love Star Wars. So, yeah, I'd probably go with Darth Maul maybe. That would be a good one. Yeah.
Okay. Face paint. You do that all the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's probably my favorite.
Okay.
Favorite
Do you know?
Sith
Are
Lord,
you good
but-
with lightsabers? I mean, have you?
No, I can't handle a lightsaber.
Yeah, I got you. Well, obviously a lot of fun here tonight. We appreciate all the four of you guys obviously taking time to speak with me. Obviously they're enjoying their first round byes, earning top 4 seeds in their respective regions. They're getting ready to obviously get ready for round 2 of the playoffs. Again, our coaches roundtable wrapping up here. If you want to rewatch the entire segment, again, this video will be available on our YouTube or our streaming platform, WTO 11 Plus. Once again, appreciate everyone, you guys, for coming and speaking and sharing some great perspective on football and obviously having a little fun tonight as well. Be sure to tune in to Big Board Friday as well, Halloween edition for first round playoff coverage. Take care, everyone.